Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics, They're Bad for You. Today we're going to talk about how Robert Pattinson wants to play Batman. In my own personal opinion, the fact that he was in Twilight sort of poisoned him to me. Even though I've never watched Twilight, I have no interest in ever seeing it. But even though that is a fact that I've never seen it, I still don't want him to play Batman. Now, I could say it's because he's not muscular enough, but you got to understand, if you go back to 1989 with Michael Keaton, he's not that much bigger than Robert Pattinson. And he had the stigma of being the actor who was the main lead in Mr. Mom. Now, if you don't know that movie, that's fine. It's just a comedy Michael Keaton was in the mid-'80s before he got the role as Batman. All I can say is this, just like then, Batman was synonymous with the 1960s silly Batman show. And me thinking Robert Pattinson playing Batman reminds me of that. I'm sure he's a more serious actor, I have to tell you that, than the late, great Adam West. But it just makes me cringe at the idea of Robert Pattinson being Batman. But that's only because I haven't seen that much of his acting. I mean, I might have seen something he was in, but I don't really remember it. All I know is he was in Twilight. But as I said, because of the stigma of being in Twilight, I probably should give him a fair shake. I just don't really want to. Now, if Robert Pattinson can play Batman, really pull it off, maybe even make himself look more muscular by using a fake bodysuit, because I still say he's a little too thin for that. But you gotta remember, Michael Keaton and Christian Bale aren't really big guys either. We're not talking Arnold Schwarzenegger or other action stars. But I've seen the costume they put on Robert Pattinson here, so it doesn't look that bad with his chin sticking out of it. It does kind of look like Batman. So maybe I will give him a fair shake. I just hate the fact that now Twilight has a connection to the DC Universe and Batman. Even though I've never seen it, and people have told me that I'd enjoy it, I kind of doubt it. People keep telling me that and stuff. I won't name names or anything like that. I don't want to insult anyone. But I'm not into Twilight. So, when I saw Robert Pattinson playing Batman, or given the role as Batman, it filled me with some bit of sadness. Because I wanted someone really great, like Michael Keaton, or other actor of that kind of quality. I mean, Michael Keaton's been in a lot of roles that have been pretty good. He was in Birdman a few years ago, and that was just basically riffing on his own involvement in the Batman films. Now, if they could take something like the original animated Batman series from the 90s with the Joker and the Batman and their play in it, it would be a classic movie. That's what I want to see given to the silver screen. But then again, we already have that in the animated series. All I can say is I will give Robert Pattinson a fair shake. But it doesn't fill me with much hope because of all the hyperbole everyone's screaming about it. There's the guys who are against him and the guys who are actually for him. I can't really name anyone who's absolutely for him, but I have heard that that there are people for him, mostly because I think it's just a bunch of people trying to, they're being paid by the studios to promote Robert Pattinson for Batman. I mean, in this one picture here, he just doesn't look big enough to be Batman. He doesn't have that quality to him. But then again, I've seen Christian Bale, and I thought he would be a horrible Batman because I thought he was too thin looking. I mean, I have the idea that a superhero should be big and muscular like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Well, you don't really want that either because you actually want an actor who can actually act. You want Batman, like Batman here, sweeping down on the streets of Gotham City. That's the Batman we want. But, as I said that's nearly impossible to pull off. There aren't that many people that big, or men that big, who can even act. So we probably maybe take one for the team once in a while, and we'll get something probably good. Because Michael Keaton, he had a bunch of stigma in the same way as Robert Pattinson. And he turned in one of the best performances of Batman on the silver screen ever. He was the first Batman movie, it was the second Batman movie I ever saw. I think I saw the original 60s movie with Adam West and stuff, and I didn't really enjoy it. Well, it was on TV and stuff, I'm pretty sure. But then Batman came out, and it was great. So, I will say that Robert Pattinson could do a good job. And this is probably not the only Batman I'll have in this lifetime either. There have been others, like Christian Bale and Michael Keaton, and they turned in great performances. And as you can see, there have been several different interpretations of Batman, including the campy 60s one, as well as the dark and terrifying 1989 one, and the Dark Knight one from the mid-2000s. Now, look at it this way. At least it isn't Batwoman they're putting on the screen, because I saw the trailer for that, and I thought the character was horrible. So we could do worse than Robert Pattinson. Though if there did a better representation of Batwoman, maybe I'd rather have her instead. But at least he isn't an SJW. I mean, he might have his politics and stuff like that, but he pretty much hates being a pretty boy and hated being anything to do with Twilight. He only did it for the paycheck. So, under those circumstances, I can appreciate Christian Bale because he did hate the character he played. So, I really have hope that he will do a good job at it, the more I think about it. We can only hope, right? I mean, recent DC movies haven't been so good, except for Wonder Woman and Aquaman. Oh, and there's, of course, the real Captain Marvel, Shazam. But at least they're nowhere near as bad as Marvel's Captain Marvel, so we have that to look forward to. So yes, there's no way Robert Pattinson can do a worse job than Brie Larson, so I will give him a shadow of a doubt. I hope and pray he does a great job and that we have a new Batman that we can all love and enjoy. So, what do you think who he's going to go up against in the next movie? Joker? Penguin? Riddler? Hopefully someone we haven't really seen before. Maybe Clayface, hopefully. Or even maybe a better representation of Killer Croc. But of course, they'll probably go with the tried and true method of maybe Joker or Ra's al Ghul. You know, someone more normal, apparently. But either way, I have some hope that he can do it. But even though when I heard Robert Pattinson was going to be playing Batman, I hated the very idea with all my heart. I mean, I hated his face because of all those years ago with Twilight being plastered everywhere. It made me hate everyone involved in those movies. So I just hope we get a good Batman. And that's what I have to say about this. If you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you're not subscribed, hit that bell so you can get all my notifications for my future videos. Also, hit that like button and leave some comments down below. And remember, keep checking back in future videos for more information on my own independent comic book, Scumdogs. Trust me, they'll be a lot better than Twilight. And hopefully, maybe they'll be Robert Pattinson's movie will be just as good as any great comic book. Now, I'm Chris Williams. I'll see y'all again tomorrow.